Ace metaphor is just a weak bitch ass nigga. There's no other way around it. And Ace is the example that no man present is better than a weak man present.
6. How did we get here? Roll a clip.
True or false? When a man isn't financially confident, he tends to go for bigger women.
True.
Explain.
So to me, if I'm a guy, I just got out of jail, I got probation fees, I need somewhere to stay, I'm not gonna go for a woman who works out 5 days a week and looks good. I'm gonna go for the bigger girl. I'm gonna say, you know, it's more of a chance that she'll be willing to compromise because deep down inside, she feels like maybe she has to compensate for the lack of the aesthetics.
Respectfully, that's probably the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. So you think because a woman is plus size or out of shape and what she accepts in life and what she should be expected to accept in life is less than
because look what she accepts for herself.
She actually went on tonight's conversation after she went viral on the Hardly Initiated podcast for answering that same question. And I know this is gonna hurt some feelings, but she's right.
What?
The same way if you, a female, lost everything and the fastest way to get back on your feet was to manipulate a man, would you try to manipulate an ugly man? Or
Pierre, that's Mufasa. Get it, Eric, Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Cut that shit off. I'm hating, but if you're being honest, the ugly man would be easier to manipulate because you'd assume that he's not used to getting female attention. The next clip is 6 versus Keita.
How do you work on your mental when every time someone brings something up, you just get upset and say that's ignorant?
Well, that's a good.
So how do you work on it then?
Thank you for asking.
We talk about weight and
how you work on that,
shut it down.
I'm gonna answer your question. How you work on that is by saying, okay, I get triggered when she says that. What about that triggers me? Okay, well, they're talking about bigger women. I know that I'm big. This is a self-reflection. So this is not who you have a conversation with everybody. You don't get on the internet and talk to people that are geared to tearing you down. This is self-reflection. So you talking to yourself and you say, this triggers me because I'm big. I'm big because I have a food addiction. I have a food addiction because I found comfort in food when I was getting assaulted. I found comfort in food when I felt like the world didn't think my face was pretty. I got comfort in food for whatever reason, because my dad left or my mom was abusive. Whatever reason you might have had that addiction, am I gonna look at it and say, I'm gonna let this rule my life? Am I going to be a victim or am I going to be victorious? And you work through that internally.
At least Keita knows she's triggered. Keita, the first person I've seen get on the internet and admit that she has a food addiction. So I respect that. It's nice to see growth. She lost the weight and I'm sure she feels more confident.
What kills me is that people don't want to care about inside. It's all about outside because it's easy.
What kills me is that people really don't care about the inside. It's all about, do I have a job? Do I have a car? Am I subscribed to the Confidence Creator? Because that's easy. Keita, homie. Yes, it's easy to screen people based on looks, money, do you have a job? But no one has time to get to know every person they meet. But if a man looks at a woman, he writes her off based on her looks, based on if she's his type or not. And ladies, if a man doesn't have a job, why are you even talking to him? Unless you're desperate.
Look at your outside. Oh, yeah, she takes care of herself. Oh, he must have a job. Oh, he must do this. You don't know. Get to know that person, talk to that person.
But saying that weight is a problem and then taking it into people having their own demons they're battling is two separate. We're talking about weight.
Black woman, I love y'all, so I'm not gonna pander to you like Ace.
Mo, Joe.
But we all have traumas, and weight is important to men. So your weight affects the amount of options you have with men. Just like finance is important to women. And we hear women say all the time,
Broke boys don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right.
so if I was abused as a child but couldn't keep a job, most women might feel bad for me, but not bad enough to date me, especially since they don't know me.
Amazing. Yeah. Have you seen?
I really don't like that you ladies lie to each other and call each other 10s because the world doesn't view everyone as perfect. And this video made me really sad for this young lady. It's called What It's Like Being Plus Size at an HBCU. This reads, parties can be hit or miss, 9 out of 10, you feel insecure halfway through after seeing all the pretty skinny girls. No guys talk to you unless it's on the DL. Party groups, students, photography, etc. never ask you to be on their story or to take your picture. You're the one plus size girl in your friends group and constantly made to feel less than. So you see, this is a tough conversation, but it's a conversation that we need to have. So this was the first encounter of Six the Goddess and the Tonight's Conversation cast.
What was your personal experiences on tonight's conversation, Six?
My personal experience on tonight's conversation was one I'll never forget. I've never been so disrespected as I have on tonight's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to even focus too much on Keita's series. I don't want to focus too much on Randy.
Yeah.
Because they're simply a product of the man that leads them. Everybody want to be the leader because it sounds fun.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I want the glory of the leader. I want everyone to see me. I want all of the blame when things go good.
That's right.
And then what people better realize about being a leader is when things go awry, it's your fault. It doesn't matter. You can't blame the people you're leading. You can't blame the people underneath you. You want the glory and the attention of being the leader. You can have that. But when it goes left, that's also on you.
And we see that with the different podcasts. Take Highly Initiated's podcast, for example. Very professional, mature conversation, even when they don't agree with some of the guests they have on. They still show them respect. Now, here's the full clip from the intro.
Ace metaphor is just a weak bitch ass nigga. There's no other way around it. People have to understand this. I'm going to give you all the backstory on why I say that. And Ace is the example that no man present is better than a weak man present. A weak man present puts everybody in danger, okay? You're better off having it ran by all women or a strong man. But a weak man, don't even have that be the option. When Ace first came to me to go on to tonight's conversation, I knew exactly why he was, because it was during a time where I was going viral on Hardly Initiated when they asked me the question about if a man is not financially confident, will he tend to go for a bigger girl? So when a man is financially confident, pocket full of money, he's out and about, one woman is 300 pounds, one is 150 pounds. Who is he going to go for? The 150-pound woman, period, right? We're not even going to sit here and debate that. We can talk about preferences, but even our preferences are rooted in something. Everything you prefer it usually because of your circumstance. So that was a question that was asked. You know, I gave my answer on the show. On the interview where I went viral. So then shortly after that is when Ace ended up coming to me to come on to the show. And I was hesitant because my instinct told me I was going to get thrown into the lion's den. Now, me, just in general, outside of tonight's conversation, I don't work well with other women at all.
And it makes sense to feel that way because, Keita, as much as I think you're funny, I tend to not agree with a lot of the things you say. The same with Randy, and we all know by now Ace is a panderer. So if you put Six in there who's gonna be blunt and say how she really feels with no filter, it's a recipe for disaster.
When I went on to tonight's conversation, the girls felt like since my content was being mean, telling women the truth, that it was okay to be mean to me in my face. It turned into an audit of my ministry, which is not what I came there for. I'm a professional. When I go do content, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do my job, and then I'm going to go home. I'm not doing the back and forth. I don't come on panels to dominate the conversation because there's multiple voices that need to be heard. I don't come on to say, oh my God, let me come, verbally attack this person because I've decided that I don't like the way they do their content. So Ace and I had a conversation before going on. And I told him, I said, I do feel like you're getting ready to send me into the lion's den for content. And so I was like, we're going to need to come up with a good price. If you're, because he tells me none of that is going to happen. Everything is going to be fine. And I'm like, you're saying that, but you have people that are on your payroll that have already made content about me, have already dragged me before even coming. And I only brought that up to him because I was being gaslit when I told him, like, I feel like I'm being thrown into the lion's den. His response was like, whatever are you talking about? So I was like, okay, well, we can play this game if you want to. I said, well, for example, Kita has specifically done a video about me. It wasn't on my talking point. It wasn't on the issue. I said most of her video was calling me stupid, dumb, crazy, and everything else. So I physically have seen, and I know for a fact you have people that work for you that do not like me as a person. I don't have confidence in this woman that she can hold her emotions together and be professional. She doesn't give me that vibe. She always had a crash out vibe. She gives me the vibe of a girl that grew up maybe in a very critical household or a very abusive, screaming and yelling household. That's why she feels like she has to scream and yell all the time. Like she just screams, look at me, please validate me. I'm here. Almost like she battles with feeling invisible or low self-worth.
And she is definitely crashing out right now. I'm just happy that it didn't get physical because that would have been ghetto as hell.
But see, the problem is people like Kita and Randy, the reason I knew we weren't going to jail is because they make their living off of telling mediocre women that they're better than what they are, that they deserve things they haven't worked for, that everything else is someone else's fault. Every time you turn around, Kita and Randy are making videos like, yes, and know your worth. If you sat and poured into that person and they did not pour into you, that is their fault. And you need to know your worth and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Just shut up. But that's what people seek. I don't want to seek someone who tells me I ain't shit, who tells me what I'm doing wrong. No, I want to go where I am comforted, to be where I'm a lazy, undisciplined person. And I want to go, who's going to tell me that I can do the less work? So Kita and Rennie, they're there for you.
She's cooking because no one is perfect. No one is a 10. Unless you Jesus Christ himself. So when people give you advice telling you you're fine just the way you are, first of all, they're lying.
Why the fuck you lying?
And that advice might make you feel good, but then you're left wondering why you can't attract the man or woman that you want. And the fact is, it might not even have anything to do with your looks. It might just be you have character flaws. Your personality is shit.
So back to the podcast. So Ace asked a question, I give my answer, and I said, I absolutely think that when a man is not, financially confident, he'll go for a bigger girl. And Randy, now keep in mind, when y'all see clips of me and her interaction, I want you to understand they've been edited, okay? They changed what she said. Keep in mind, me and Randy had never had a single interaction. I had never disrespected this woman, never said a word to this woman. Prior to filming, I did not disrespect her. I did not bother her. The first thing out this girl's mouth is she looks at me and says, disrespectfully, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Disrespectfully.
She says, she looks
Not
me.
respectfully, but
not respectfully. Now they edited to take out the dis part in front of respectfully, to have it show her saying, respectfully, it's the stupidest shit I ever heard. No. She looked me in my eye and said, disrespectfully, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
Respectfully, that's probably the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life, bro.
I don't know, Six. Unbiased opinion. I looked at that clip at least 100 times, and I edit my videos, so I'm used to seeing cuts, and I don't see that in this clip. Now, it's possible that she said that line more than once, and they put the clip in there. I'm not sure. But let's continue.
I'm saying, and on an interview, on a panel, I've had girls, jump me on panels, but to look at me and be like, and then I'm like, I'm so glad I changed my life, because I struggle with that. I was bullied a lot growing up. I've been bullied, jumped. Women always team up on me, and that's why I am the way I am. Sometimes people be like, oh, Six, You can't be ready to fight. You can't be ready to. No, I have to be that way. You don't know the shit I go through.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's got trauma. Hell, I've been jumped 3 times, stitches and staples in my head the last one.
Tonight's Conversations episodes are filmed inside of Ace's home. His home address, okay, where he lays his head at night. But when you're inside of a man's home, that's an extra element of the expectation of order. This is your house. You're supposed to have control over all of this. This is not a third-party environment where your hands are tied in certain matters. This yo shit. That's important to this story. After the incident happened with Keita and Randy, where I got called every type of bitch, the first thing, after everything went awry, when Randy was like, disrespect, that's why we don't like you, Keita, first thing out her mouth, her first thing was call me 8 type of bitches. Randy, I'm walking off set. Randy is like a child. She is quite literally like this. Bye, peace. Like she, never in my life. How old is she? She got to be damn near 40. I have never in my life, 40 years old, literally like this. Are you
personal.
kidding? That is very personal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's extremely personal. Mm-hmm. And then she lies. This is the microaggression. I never heard of you before today. Randy. Now, Randy.
And Ace was just watching. He was probably trying to get all that drama on footage. Kind of like Fresh and Fit, kicking the girls out so they can go viral.
Fuck you and your show,
okay,
my nigga.
get the fuck out of here.
I will get the fuck out of here. It's given you ain't get pussy until you was 20-something years old.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
It was actually 18.
Damn. I'm sorry.
That was popular around that time.
Does anybody want to ask, did Ace stop for 10 seconds to come upstairs and see if I was all right? Anybody want to ask?
Nah, he's trying to get some content in. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what he wanted. He wanted that. He wanted us to fight.
Yeah.
He thought I was going to keep going back and forth. If you look back at the video, you see his eyes start to light up when he sees me and her begin to go back and forth. He wanted me to hit her. He wanted, because that's the other element of this, is after I told Randy, listen, baby, you doing too much. This ain't going to work. You better sit the fuck down because you doing all that. If I start doing what I want to do, it's going to be a problem. You know what Randy says? See, y'all, where's the femininity? Where's the femininity, y'all? So Keita and Randy, which is what Keita is doing now to Kitty, is when they see someone be favored, when they see people like someone, they want to come try to paint that person in an ugly light because of the jealousy of, I don't want you to like this person. So she's like, see, y'all, she fake feminine. Where's the femininity? After you sat here and disrespected me and antagonized me this whole time, when I finally say enough is enough, you're like, see, y'all, see? Because you're trying to what? Discredit me in some way? Baby, I ain't shit. I don't know why you're even doing that. I have never portrayed myself as to be the goody two-shoes church girl. None of that. I smoke, drink, and cuss, honey. And I slap the fuck out of bitches too. Okay? And you're lucky that it did not happen to you in fucking Ohio. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what do you mean? Like, my femininity is different. My femininity is I will femininely whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? I will femininely defend myself. Femininity is not being a pushover. It's not letting people harm you. Femininity actually is rage. You know what I'm saying? Femininity is that emotion. Sometimes the feminine needs to come out to destroy.
That's another bar. And that doesn't just apply to women. I've seen emotional men crash out as well. You might think they're tough. I call it stupid. At times, I've let my emotions get the best of me. Truth is, everyone has feminine and masculine traits, and we all have stuff we need to work on.
What is it to you, you know? And Ace decides, this is how I know this man got mental health issues. Because you ain't feel bad. That didn't cross your mind and say, everything this girl said was going to happen did happen, even though I gaslit her and told her that it wasn't. And I promised her and gave her my word as a man that it wouldn't. But now everything that she said was going to happen, it did. She got on this plane and, flew up here to me. Let me take 2 minutes to walk my ass upstairs and at least go apologize. Give her a hug. Give her some water, a tissue for her tears. Let me go call her an Uber back to the airport. That nigga did not stop his production for a second to even remotely come give me a pat on the back.
Ace was like, what I gotta do that for? I didn't get what I wanted, which was probably a fight. Low-key, sounds like he was setting you up.
I got in my Uber. I went home. I get a call from Ace 2 days later. The first thing out Ace's mouth is to throw Keita and Randy under the bus. No ownership. Oh, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they said that. I can't believe I said, Ace, just stop. Stop right now. This is not, they did exactly, I don't have no expectations of them, okay? My expectations of them are at 0. These are very broken, very hurt, very emotional, crash out, low self-esteem women, hyenas, basic bitches. They are doing exactly what we know they do. We don't have those expectations. My expectations was in you as a man. I dealt with you in good faith in your ability as a man, and more importantly, as a Black man. I trusted you. The fact that instead of you apologizing and saying this is your fault and you taking responsibility, the fact that you're trying to throw them under the bus is the red flag.
Especially since he knew those two didn't like you. As a leader, the buck always stops with you. Those are your people. Those are your employees.
I said, what hurt the most is when the first thing out Keita's mouth was, she's mad because I made a video about her. It's social media. That's what you do. Why was she so mad about that? I said, Ace, I specifically told you that when I confided in you to tell you why I knew that you had staff that didn't like me and I brought up Keita, I specifically said, you said you're going to say something to her. I specifically told you, I said, don't. Because maybe she planned on going into and just getting through the episodes, but you're going to start something by mentioning it. And I said, and you gave me your word, you wouldn't say anything. And you turned right around and ran to her and told her everything. This is why I will tell anybody that you cannot believe a word coming out Ace's mouth. This is why you'll never hear me say he wouldn't do that. With the next thing what this man said to me is what showed me he'll do anything. Keep in mind, it's a conversation that me and him had on the phone a week prior to this. I said, I cannot believe that you said something to her. And now I see why this escalated the way it is, because you had already did what I told you not to do, which you went to them and was like, she saw y'all video and she mad and I said, so at the very least, I need an apology for that, for breaking my trust and going, running and telling her that, which really ignited this whole issue. That nigga said to me, I never said that.
So how did she find out? Because I only told you.
So I'm waiting on the email for the footage. It never comes. The next day I hit him up. I was like, hey, I'm waiting on the footage. Where is it at? Oh, I thought about it and I'm not going to give you the footage. I said, so Ace, let me ask you this. Because I realize I don't put myself in a place where all I'm around are real men. Okay. And sometimes that can be a hindrance because then you forget that bitches exist.
Very well, too.
Very well. Yeah. So I'm a type of person, the number one trait I admire in a man, more than any other trait, is those type of men where you know that when he say it, it's done.
Yeah, you was supposed to get that in writing, because I know he ain't about to send you shit.
And he asked me a question and said, I'm not sending you the footage. And then he asked me a question and said, what is it that you want? What do you want from me? And I said, what do you want me to do? Like, what can we do? And I was like, well, fire her. I will take her spot and I want whatever her salary was plus some for my pain and suffering. Okay. And as long as I never have to deal with that woman again and I can do my job and go home. Okay. Are we talking the right price? Okay. He wouldn't do it. So I told him, I said, mark my words. And I'm almost getting chills because I was kind of talking shit, but didn't really know if it was going to really happen. But I knew it was, but wasn't sure. But I looked at him, I said, the fact that you can't get these women to respect you in your own home tells me everything I need to know about you. I said, you a weak bitch ass nigga. You ain't shit. Don't ever say shit to me ever again. Do not ask me to work for you. Do not ask me to come on your panel. Do not ask me to come on tour, because you're going to continue to have carnage like this because people don't respect you because you're weak. And this is honestly not the job for you. You don't need to be in charge of no one.
I gotta see what Ace is paying these people, because bro said he's making $500,000 an episode. I know y'all tired of podcasters, but I might have to start something like that up.
I told him when he turned down my deal back then, I said, those two women are liabilities. And the way that you spent your money and put your name on the line to bring me here, and the way they have disrespected you in your own home, they're going to cost you to lose everything. I said, mark my words, wretched bitches like those destroy everything. And if you think you'll ever get a clean break from them, you never will. I said, mark my words, they're going to destroy you. And I was saying it like talking shit. So that's why now my phone started blowing up when Keita started crashing out, because everyone's like, sick, did you see my phone blow? I'm like, what is it? I'm like, well, I think it's something happened. Somebody died. So everyone blowing me up. People have been writing me messages. We saw what happened. We stand by you. Them bitches was wrong for that. You've been vindicated. So everyone is coming to me now like, oh my God, Six, like they're fired. He about to lose everything.
Okay, so that's Ace's situation. And now she's gonna talk about the Keita and Kitty situation.
So apparently Keita and Kitty were friends at one point. And I feel very sad for Kitty, because Kitty, I love a lot, and Kitty and Keita are two different people. Like a lot of people get them confused.
It's very similar names.
Kitty is the very gorgeous, again,
Dark skin.
chocolate.
That's what I was gonna bring up to you. I told you. Dr.
Literally,
Bryant.
I'm like, the chocolate, I'm like, oh.
Told you.
And Kitty the same way, face card, lethal. Oh.
And then all the men loved her. All the women loved her. She was very intelligent.
And Keita, every time Keita talks, she's like, y'all favorite.
Yep.
Like, that gotta be the most jealous bitch type of stuff I've ever seen. Y'all favorite every time. Like, ma'am, are you mad? So I want to give a message to the sister Kitty. And I want to give a message to encourage her. I don't play about, if you're going to sit and accuse a woman of being unfaithful in her marriage, you're going to sit and bring what a woman do in the bedroom to the light for what? We still have not got an answer from Keita on, please tell us what this woman could have done so horrible to you for her to be a wife and a mother. The way they were saying it at first, I thought they had saw Keita taking some, or Kitty.
See, she messed this up too, and I'm hoping I didn't get this Kitty situation wrong. But Kitty's gone quiet, hasn't said a word about the situation, and we just, well, not we. I just assumed she was telling the truth. Shit. And honestly, I don't know how many more apology videos I got left in me.
I thought they had saw her taking a nigga down or something, the way they was saying, like, you're unfaithful to your husband. Then come to find out it's some nigga with some Jamaican nigga with a man bun on TikTok talking about some email that she sent apologizing for negative behavior in the past. Like she was trying to grow and do better. And Keita's thing is, oh, she knew that someone doxed my address and didn't tell me. And for that small thing, you're willing to destroy a wife, a mother. This woman has people that look up to her, and you're taking very unflattering clips of her and putting it out there. Says she was on looking. Talk about, does anyone know her exes? Does anybody know her ex-boyfriend? Call me. What? Are you fucking serious? This is sadistic. This is sick. And I think exactly what y'all saying. Y'all hate to see the chocolate girl be prettier, get more attention. And the way that some of they men were looking at me, I'm pretty sure some of they men were looking at Kitty too. And that's probably the real reason why you're mad, honey. Ooh, that's that hurt when you think that you're light skinned, you got it. Then your man starts shifting in his seat at the chocolate girl.
No, that's not what Keita said. Keita said that Kitty got her fired because she was trying to get them all together. I don't know, start a union up or something. And Kitty went back and told Ace, which is why Keita got fired.
It's given that, and that's the girl that their audience love. The girl that they audience love is clearly so freaking colorist. Not a girl at all. The things they're doing to Kitty, I think, are very disgusting. I don't give a damn. Kitty, most women who are well-spoken and knowledgeable are freaky. You know what I'm saying? So Kitty freaky, I knew she was freaky. You can tell by the way she talks, she freaky. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean me. No, never mind, girl, do your thing.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage her. I just want to say, my sister, you are gorgeous. You are beautiful. Your ex that's trying to put you on, that nigga is so mad, girl. He must be so hurt. You ain't with him no more. I want you to know, Kitty, keep going. I've seen you get quiet. I've been online bullied before, worse than you have, honey. The way I've been online bullied, honey, I've been humiliated. I had people take clips of my past. I've had people put them forward. I've had people do all that. And what I want to say to you, Kitty, is don't get quiet. Keep your voice. Keep going. Do not stop. Also, do not work with Ace, honey. Don't do it, baby. That man is weak. You're going to keep getting attacked as long as you're under him. So my hope for that sister is that she move to her own platform, do her own thing, move forward. If I was her, I wouldn't respond to them. I wouldn't go back and forth with them, bitch. I'm moving on my life. I look better than you. I'm doing better than you. Bye. You know,
But you kind of have to respond. People aren't gonna move on until you do. Certain situations you can just ignore. Like if I gave a bad take and people didn't like something I said, fuck them. I can just keep going. But at the bare minimum, Kitty has to at least say it's not true.
There was a time, I would say like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, where our community was very church heavy. And Black women were constantly being preyed upon by the pastor sometimes, whether it was from tithing, whether it was sleeping with all the women. And I see that same play now when it comes to like this whole panel relationship stuff of it's Black women who are single, who are trying to find answers, but you're trying to find it from somebody who doesn't have those answers. How can we save Black women from constantly falling for the Derrick Jacksons, Ace metaphors, from this same cycle every single time?
By what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tell them they have to earn something. I'm telling you, women translate telling them that they have to earn something as it being hateful. So that's what I mean by that's their audience, is the lazy women who want to be fat, legs open, feet in the air all the time, acting a fool, then talk about why can't I get a good man? And none of them, I don't see them up there saying it's because you're 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying because you got a big ass mouth, you don't know how to shut up sometime. They're not saying because you meet a man and sleep with him on the first date, second date, every date you go on, you got your legs wide open. You know what I'm saying? Black women will stop falling for that when they understand the answer is in you. The answer is in getting yourself together. The answer is in you becoming humble. The answer is in you realizing it takes the work. It literally is just how they pander to lazy women. That's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. It is women who don't want to put the work in. Instead, I want some type of book or formula or pill I can take where everything will just appear for me.
Okay, and on that note, I'm gonna cut it right there because I'm not trying to react to this whole video. It's another hour and 20 minutes left, so I'm gonna leave the full link to the video below. Also, check out the video I did discussing if weight matters, naturally fashionable versus 6 the Goddess. I'm out.